Hi, I'm Callum Riley. Welcome back to Clearheads today. I'm joined by current teammate Adam Rooney at Solihull Moors. Welcome, Rooms.
Cheers, Cal.
I've just showed you briefly what obviously the blog is about, the website, different challenges professional footballers or sportsmen and sportswomen face in the games that they play, and ways of overcoming them. I wanted to touch first on when you came over to England at such a young age. I had slightly different kind of grounding through. When I come through, I was local, but for you came over from Ireland, and I just wanted to see how you adapted to that, whether it was tough or not.
Yeah, it wasn't actually too bad because I was 17 when I came over. I moved over. When I initially moved over, my parents would travel over a couple of times a week and make sure I got settled. I was in Digs for about 6 weeks, and I was in with another lad in the team there, and we got quite close, as you do, just being the youth team together and living together.
Yeah.
And then because the parents used to come over quite a bit, I used to see them, so I never really got homesick.
Yeah.
So I was okay. And then the good thing about me at Stoke was I think there was 4 or 5 Irish lads there, which when they're coming over from Ireland, it makes it so much easier when you've lads that you know and you can relate to.
Yeah.
And that helped me settle, to be fair. So I actually settled in quite quickly, and I actually broke into the first team quite quick. So that was more of a challenge trying to go into that environment, and those lads there who would have grown up playing, like watching them playing Champ Manager, where like there was Michael Dewberry was there, Ed the High, there was people at the club who I grew up watching on the telly, and all of a sudden you're chucked into that environment. So learning to deal with that was kind of the tricky part.
Yeah, and then obviously going on from there, I obviously spent time with you at Birmingham, and you obviously went north of the border and then came back down and back up again. So obviously how did you find that, doing that?
Moving around, I moved quite a bit in my career, obviously, as you say. I've been in Scotland twice, I've been around different parts of the UK and England, and yeah, moving is probably the most difficult part, but I think it's not so bad when you're younger, and you've not really got any ties anywhere, because you make new friends. You know, football's like you quickly make friends in the game in your new team, and you settle quite quickly. But yeah, moving around, the biggest challenge is just literally the stress of having to try and find a house, or try and find stuff. I'd say nowadays, for kids, that's the more challenging bit when you've a family and you're relying on trying to get skills and that side of it. It can be stressful, but in terms of when I was younger, I didn't actually mind doing it. I know some people don't like to go too hard from home, but I've always been quite independent, so going to a new area or a new part of the country never really fazed me.
Yeah, I mean, you just touched on it then, obviously your wife and your kids. For me, I've obviously always struggled and really kind of hated travelling away and coming back. Your wife's obviously travelled most places with you when you've played up in Scotland, and you've been back down here. How important has that been, obviously having that support network with you?
Yeah, I think that's massive. As I say, when I first moved over, having the family travel over a couple of times a week massively helped get me to settle down. Same wife now, she's moved everywhere with me, so I've always had that support now. I've always had that stability, which has been massive. As you say, I know you travel a bit and you have to travel away with the kids a lot. I find that fairly difficult. I've been fortunate enough the last couple of years I've not had to do that. I've always been within certain distance of the ground. I could get home every day and not to stay away from them. I'd find that part of it difficult now. I had to do that. I wouldn't enjoy that, because it's like kids at a young age, you want to be around for them, so I'd find that side of it hard, but the rest of it in the past has been good for me, because we always travelled and found work wherever we've gone.
Yeah, brilliant. And just obviously moving on to now, we're at Solihull Moors, we're in the semi-final of a playoff in the National League. I know you had a successful time at Salford and you got promoted there. Is there any similarities you can draw within the squads?
Yeah, I just think that like the camaraderie within the group. Salford were a great bunch of lads. Good group of boys all pushing in the same direction with no cliques. And it's very similar to this group you've probably seen since you've been in. Like it's a very tight knit group. It's a good bunch of boys, all who honest lads who just work hard and enjoy coming in every day. And it's just a team spirit. I think team spirit's massive for promotions, and when teams are successful, they tend to be the ones you remember in your careers, like being mates with the ones you've been successful with. I think it helps. That's what's driven us on so far. Yeah,
and then just touching on, I was just mentioning to you before, I know obviously you do different bits outside of football as well. You obviously co-founded a company with Goodfield Coffee. I was looking online, and you obviously support a lot of charities involved, and I was just wanted you to obviously tell me how you got involved firstly and why it's important to you.
Love coffee.
No,
obviously got involved just because me and my mate just always thought it'd be great to have a little coffee business on the side, something to do. Obviously I've got a lot of free time when we wait for football, so always thought I'd love to be involved in a little coffee company, and
Yeah.
we decided to set one up. My brother had testicular cancer about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He came through that, so we thought we'd do something that helps raise awareness, like the oddballs boxes that you give me a bit of stick over.
Yeah.
And we thought it was a good idea, so we thought to do something similar with the coffee, sell coffee and link up with some charities and hopefully raise some awareness and support them. Then it'd be great. So we initially planned on just doing it for testicular cancer.
Yeah.
And then we said we'd do it for breast cancer, and then we thought we might as well try and raise as much awareness for different issues at the minute. Obviously mental health's a massive thing in the game at the minute.
Yeah.
So we've linked up with Mine Charity for that. We done it for breast cancer, Copperfield Foundation, the Oddballs Foundation is the one for testicular cancer, and then we decided to join up with the Solihull Morse Foundation.
Yeah.
We do one for here as well now because they do a lot of work. So yeah, no, just something on the sideline that hopefully you can raise some awareness and support and drink some decent coffee.
No, it looked brilliant, honestly, and I'm sure that obviously the work that you've done is really appreciated. And just finally, Runes, looking back at your career, is there anything that you would have maybe done differently? And the second part of the question is then, is any advice that you possibly give to someone who's maybe travelling over from Ireland, starting a career over here?
Fortunately, no, there's nothing to do differently. You make decisions. Obviously, there's times in your career you made moves and have not worked out, or something's not gone right, but I think at the time you always make what's the best decision for yourself and your family. At the time you always think you do the decision because it's at the time it's the right thing to do, so I don't think you can look back if it doesn't work out. All you can do is do your best for it. In terms of anyone coming over from Ireland to settle down, I think just give your all, especially if you're moving, if you're going to bother travelling over to the UK from Ireland and move away from your family, and you have to be committed. You see a lot of people that come over and once they get here they think they've made it and they're soon back in Ireland, so I think you're going to come over fully commit to it. So make sure you do your best to make it in the game, because it's difficult to make it.
No, it is, yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Runes, and hopefully if anyone that's watching the video it's been helpful and you enjoyed it also. Cheers.